Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and today is part 6 in our Modern Masters 2015 speculation series, and we're looking at our top 8 cards from the Lorwyn Shadowmoor Block that could be reprinted in Modern Masters 2015. Few rules before we get started. Just like the other videos, we are speculating on cards that were printed as a rare or mythic rare. We're not looking at uncommons or commons. We're not counting any cards printed in the original Modern Masters. At this point, we don't have confirmation that anything that was printed in the first Modern Masters will necessarily appear in Modern Masters 2015. And finally, cards that are currently banned in Modern will not be considered. So having said that, let's go ahead and get started with number 8. And number 8 is Rings of Brighthearth. And this is a card that has skyrocketed in value, and it desperately needs a reprint just so players can play with it. And is it more of a commander card than a valid modern card? Yeah, probably. But in a limited environment in Modern Masters 2015, it would be a fun card to have. It wouldn't be environment breaking, and it just needs to get out there. We need to get more copies of this card out there, especially foils for EDH players. Number 7, Mistbind Click. And here's another card that's seen a lot of value jump over the last few months, and part of the catalyst for this is Bitter Blossom becoming unbanned, and more players are trying to find ways to make productive Fairies deck, and this is a very strong card that works in the modern Fairies deck. Number 6, Ruined Halo, and this is another card seen value, maybe not quite as much as the last two cards we looked at. However, it's a sideboard staple in Modern and hasn't really seen a reprint, so this is a perfect time to get this reprinted and get this into more players' hands. Number 5, Diluc Tutor, and this is the only straightforward tutor that's really left in Modern that hasn't been banned. So this is a card that has seen a little bit of value increase. It's not fetching the strongest cards in the format, which typically tend to be your creatures or maybe sorcerers or instants, but fetching an enchantment is still a good thing. It goes directly into your hand. You don't have to worry about putting it at the top of your library. So it's another excellent tutor in certain niche decks. Number 4, Fulminator Mage, and this is an interesting pick. It's seen a huge price increase over the last couple of years, and most of that has been driven by the Birthing Pod deck. Now, Birthing Pod is no longer in Modern, so this doesn't make it quite as desirable as it was maybe a couple of weeks ago to see a reprint. However, the value hasn't really come down. It's still a very expensive card, and it's a card that could still need a reprint. Could Birthing Pod become unbanned at some point? Absolutely. And does this card have a place without Birthing Pod? Possibly. You can still see this card with some modern play, and also see some play in Singleton and Commander formats. Number 3, Filter Lands. So in my opinion, this is the land cycle we're most likely to see in Modern Masters 2015. And the reason I say that is a lot of players are speculating on enemy colored fetch lands, of course, from Zendikar. My theory is, I think we're going to see those in Dragons of Tarkir. Khans of Tarkir, Dragons of Tarkir are going to have a lot of mirror images of each other in the two sets because they're going to try to show the change in the timeline. And I do think since we saw the 5 allied color lands in Khans, it makes a lot of sense, even from a storytelling point of view, to put the enemy fetch lands in Dragons of Tarkir. I really think that's going to happen. I could be wrong, but I really think that's the place we're going to see those appear. What's nice about that is that opens Modern Masters 2015 up to being able to reprint things like this. And when you see the color filter lands, these in some players' opinions aren't as premium as fetch lands or shock lands. However, they're fetching prices right now that are higher than fetch lands and shock lands, basically because of rarity at this point. You have lands that most players don't consider as good, although they have decks where they're necessary and have a place. But you're paying a lot more for those lands than you're paying for higher quality lands. So that has to be resolved. These things need reprints. We need to be able to get them into players' hands and not to play them down. They are still a very, very good dual land, and you don't take damage off them. They don't come into play tapped, so there's a lot of advantages to playing these as well. Number 2, Scapeshift. And Scapeshift has been a driving force in Modern. There's a deck named after it, Scapeshift. It's going to continue to be a strong deck, and it could even be a stronger deck now that Birthing Pod is out in the environment. This is a card that's gone up in price and needs a reprint desperately. And our number 1 card from the Lorwyn Shadowmoor Block that we believe will be reprinted in Modern Masters 2015 is Bitter Blossom. Bitter Blossom didn't get a chance to get printed in the original Modern Masters because of the time it was banned in Modern. They since have lifted the ban, so I think we're going to see it here in Modern Masters 2015. It's a card that has held and gained a lot of value. It's gone up quite a bit since it's been unbanned in Modern. There's a lot of players out there trying to build fairy decks and build around Bitter Blossom. There's a very good chance that Bitter Blossom is poised to become a top tier deck. And bottom line is we just need more copies out there for players to get and hopefully make this a little more affordable. Having said that, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and let us know what we missed in the comments below. If you think of any cards from Lorwyn or Shadowmoor that you believe are going to be reprinted, or anything that should have made our top 8 list, please let us know. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.